subscribe.
なんだか気の毒な生き物出てきた。かわいい。
Card Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. Alright, we're going to do a quick market review a little earlier than we normally would. This is 1 week since my last one. The last one I did was on the 27th, I believe, or 28th. So the reason I'm doing one so early is that there was that big, shocking news that OP05 Sakazuki is going to be banned from April 1st onward in Japan. We're expecting to follow suit in the English version of the game. There has been no announcement made, and there's no confirmation at all. Technically, the English version could diverge and not follow that ban listing at all, but everyone's assumption is that we will follow suit, because we have in the past with Moby Dick and Kabaji, and we actually even went a step further, right? We banned Whitebeard Leader, Nami, and more cards than that Japan never had banned or restricted. Great Eruption was also banned. That's something that's used in a Sakazuki deck, and so is Reject, but my data sources don't have OP06 cards yet, so we won't see the market ramifications for those, because there isn't any market data for them. But yeah, let's see what has changed in the market after all of that crazy news that happened. And again, I do say it every video, but just in case there's new viewers watching, if you want access to this dashboard, I do grant it if you're a Marketeer patron on my Patreon, so I'll link it, description, on screen, yada yada, same thing as usual. So looking at the movers for the period of February 28th to March the 5th, which is the day I'm recording this, the biggest losers are Nami. The Altart 01 Searcher Nami went down 23 bucks on TCG Player, and it actually went up on Card Market. Let me verify this. Yeah, the average price is like 220-ish, and I do have like 213 recorded on my end. So we do see the Leader Sakazuki Altart go down 18 bucks on TCG Player, almost 19 actually, and then about the same on Card Market. It's slightly higher on Card Market than it is on TCG Player, and this is average prices. It's not the lowest listed. But yeah, we see the Leader card drop significantly because yeah, he's going to be banned April 1st onward in Japan. He's still going to be legal in English for 06, as far as we know for now, until they say otherwise. So if you do want to have one more set of the most broken leader in the game, you can get him for really cheap if you want to bling it out. You pick up a Altart Leader Sakazuki for $70-ish dollars. And since the card did not get errated, there's that new like promo version of Sakazuki that's nerfed. That doesn't mean that in the future he could get unbanned and he would still retain his old OP05 effect. So this could be like a long-term play, but you could just pick up a lot of these for cheap, and then once Sakazuki becomes unbanned, when the game gets power crept in the future, he could come back into viability, and then I'm sure he'll shoot back up in price once that happens. Because yeah, I think any meta that he'll be able to come back in, he'll still be strong. So that could be something you maybe want to invest in if you have the capital to spare. We also see the 03 Altart Nami go down too, down $15. This one's a little surprising because in the 07 meta, it does seem like it's slowing down. It's like a very stall heavy meta with Enel and Bonnie being like two of the most popular decks that allows Nami to actually increase in viability. The slower the meta, the more that Nami can deck herself out. So I'm surprised to see this leader go down, because I do think a lot more Namis are showing results in the Japanese meta, but that just could be the English meta not following the Japanese meta too closely, so we might see this card increase later on. And then other than that, we do see the Altart leaders go down from 01. There's promo cards here too, they went down. I'll exclude them real quick, hold on. Yeah, usually I do this by set, but since this is going to be a quick one, where we're just really curious to see how the Sakazuki cards are affected, we just do like an overall look right now. So 01 Parallel Mihawk also went down 12-ish bucks. SP Uta from 05 still going down, under 100 now. Altart Zoro goes down as well. Yeah, these are like nearly $10 decreases. Katakuri down. Yeah, it's just a lot of good staple cards are going down too. SP Nami continues to go down. Iceberg went down quite a lot. Here we have Great Eruption, another card that was banned. It lost like nearly half its value, down $7. This card is, or will be run in Perona and Gecko Moria too. So we'll have like one set to still be able to use this card. So it's as cheap as it's ever been. No, that's not true. It was dirt cheap when the starter deck first came out, but this is the cheapest it's been in a while. Okay, let me show the history on the bottom. Yeah, it peaked at like almost 20 bucks, and now it's like $8. So if you want to pick up 4 copies of this, it's only like $36. It looks like on Card Market it went down almost the same amount, dropped 44%. Purple Luffy still continues to go down, but now he's more expensive than Sakazuki. I'll have to do more testing, but I actually found that Purple Luffy wasn't too bad. And now that Sakazuki is going to be gone in 07, Purple Luffy might actually have a better chance. Because Sakazuki was one of Purple Luffy's hardest matchups. And then since Enel is strong in 07 and Purple Luffy like dumpsters Enel, we could see more Purple Luffy come back into the meta. Because he does get some great cards from EB01 and 07, right? That Germa 66 Sanji card and then the Mr. 2 Bon Clay. Anything else to note? No, just a bunch of like collector's cards from 01, 02, and then the SP cards are all going down. Bubbles continuing to pop. It's not like a giant burst, it's like slowly deflating, which is great. I'd be more worried if things just suddenly like sharply dropped. But yeah, it looks like most of the decreases are just on collector's cards. Some of these cards just aren't playable still. So there's no like competitive reasoning to why some of these cards are decreasing. Ooh, O2 Kuzan also down a little bit. This is good. A lot of black decks are strong next set. You can pick some of these up for cheaper. Even Borsalino's down $3. 4-cost Borsalino. Also another black staple. Let's take a look at the increases really quick. The increase wise, the biggest increase is $80. Manga Shanks went up. We did see him go down quite a bit the last time we did a market review, so this is a correction to that decrease, I guess. And then 8-cost Katakuri also up $13. It's kind of weird that he ever went down. Let's check the history real quick. Yeah, he peaked at like 87, dropped down to like 64, and now he's back up to 76. So if you missed a chance to buy him when he was like in the low 60s, this might be the next best price point until he goes back up to 80. Then we see Mangala up $8. Starter Deck 2 Kid also up $6. This is probably still due to 07, where Bonnie is strong, which means that Kid is strong because the Supernova package is great. But we're not getting that for a while. But still, yeah, $15 for a Starter Deck 2 leader. A Starter Deck leader at all. Right, usually Starter Deck leaders should be quite cheap because they're like easy to get, but I guess Starter Deck 2 has been out of print long enough for this card to become rare. 8-cost Kid continues to go up after Bonnie's performance in the East. So is Baby 5 for the Doflamingo package. Yeah, these are things we expect to see. Ultra Bedge going back up. Still the best 2k counter, and he evaded the ban, so I guess that's why people are like hype on Bedge. Bedge is legal for another meta. Kaku going up too. I think Lucci has also been showing strong results in the East. The new 07 Lucci leader. So that's why we're seeing the CP cards go up as well. Kekomori is due to Doflamingo being a little more viable than he was, thanks to 07, but I don't think he's top meta at the moment. Yeah, Doflamingo cards. Yeah, these are all cards we expect to see up. And that's it for all the increases over $1. You can take a look at promo cards at the end after all, since some of you guys are curious about that. So the biggest increase promo-wise is this Championship Marco, followed by this Sealed Battle Sabo, $8. Yeah, these aren't too crazy increases. I remember like the period before we saw mainly like giant decreases. So it looks like, yeah, the promo cards have recovered a little bit in total value. This Gordon continues to go up. I know I said that like with Raise Max coming up, this Gordon might go down in price, but turns out in 07, Red Purple Law is a menace. He's crazy good, and he does run 8 minus 3k effects now, in place of like running the events. So the events would be like the budget option to running Gordon, but yeah, if you can afford 4 Gordon and 4 Raise Max, that seems to be the way to go right now with Red Purple Law in 07. Let's see, anything else to note? No, let's look at decreases. I'd be curious to see, after the bloodbath that was last market review, what else is going down. So this Championship Series Tashigi went down $13. This first anniversary tournament Luffy card, winner card, goes down 13. The Bandai Card Fest Luffy is also down $5. I'm so surprised it's this high at all, because again, this was like a free event that people could go to, and this was given out for free for just going. So people are really trying to flip a free card they got for a free event for $50, $60 even. I still don't understand that. And the art's not even that great. Actually, I kind of don't like it, but yeah, I never paid this amount for this card. That's kind of the problem with those events too, right? I feel like most of the people just went to the event just to get cards that they could flip, which, I don't know, doesn't feel great to me. I heard that like a majority of the people who even signed up for that Nationals tournament just did it for the prizing and dropped, which kind of sucks because I feel like a lot of people wanted to like actually compete, but oh well, that's just the nature of card games where the cards are valuable. Yeah, I would guess that this card will continue to decrease. just based on my own sentiments, my own bias. Again, this card is a free card from a free event that people are trying to sell for $60. Think about it. Yeah, and the other decreases are kind of random. Ooh, this Treasure Cup Kobe is finally on TCG Player. So he's going for around 500-ish, down $3. That's cool. Alright, let's move on to... Let's take a look at the Tournaments tab. Let's take a look at Sakazuki in particular. We can see right off the bat that the minimum average price of a Sakazuki deck is now $312. The last few times we checked, it was like around above $400, so it dropped like 100-ish. And then we can take a look at one deck as an example to see how it trends. How about Jackson's Sakazuki deck from the NA Nationals? Yeah, this is Jackson's list that ran 4 Borsalinos, 4 Great Eruptions. He didn't run the Alter Art Sakazuki leader, so that's not... These prices are the minimum prices of the cards too, so we won't see the effects of the leader card dropping in price, but still quite an expensive deck even if you don't bling it out, right? At its peak on the 31st of December, it was $505 for this deck. And again, this is minimum rarity too, which I think Jackson does run a minimum rarity Sakazuki deck, so yeah, this is how much his deck was worth at that time. And then now it is like $331 here at the very end. If I can hover over it, yep, you can see minimum price of this deck now is $331, which means it decreased like $150 from its peak. This is the effect of the ban list announcement, right? The ban list was announced on the 3rd, I believe. Actually, no, it was already trending downwards from that date. But yeah, this very like tail end of the trend is pretty steep drop. So this does bring the Sakazuki deck down more in line with the price of the other decks. I think the most expensive deck now is the Uta deck, the Film Uta one, the green one. So let's take a look at each card individually. I have it broken down by all the cards that Sakazuki decks tend to run. We can look at Great Eruption. That was a card that was directly banned. Let's see how that affected the prices. Yeah, we can see a steep drop off from the 3rd onward after it was banned, announced to be banned, from $13.52 to $8 now. As we mentioned earlier, like almost half, 50% sale. It hasn't been this cheap since November, late November, or the entirety of November. And then prior to November, it was like $2. Yeah, this increase in November was in anticipation for OP05 with Sakazuki being released. That's why the price increased. And then as it got closer to the day that it actually released, it jumped up and it peaked around $20. Now slowly falling back down to its November price. And then I'm guessing once 07 comes around, it's going to drop back down to its pre-05 price at $2-ish. We can take a look at Borsalino, the next most expensive card in the deck. He was not hit by a ban list, but it does seem like he's going down in price. Yeah, his drop isn't as steep. Actually, no, he increased in price since the ban list announcement. Yeah, I guess if you're only running 2 or 3 copies of Borsalino before, without being able to run Great Eruption now, I guess you just increase that count to 4. So that's why he went up like 70 cents. But yeah, his peak was almost $50. So it's still quite cheaper than he used to be. It looks like since the end of November, he was hovering around 30-ish. So it seems like this is the price that he's kind of settled at. This is his floor. Also remember Hina dropped in price. So let's take a look at Hina real quick. Yeah, Hina dropped significantly, even since the middle of February actually. So she was $20 at that point. Now she is $13, almost half as well. But Hina is still a strong card. It's still usable in Gecko Moria. I think Perona doesn't run RHL, the Rebecca Hina Lucci combo. I don't know, we could see Hina go back up again, especially since Great Russian will be banned. There will be like space in the deck for cards like RHL. Let's take a look at Kuzan too, because he's also quite a pricey card in the deck. Yeah, Kuzan, small decrease, like 14 bucks now. His peak was back at the end of November, where he was like 25-ish, 24, 25. Is there any other card that we should look at? Did Pilaf go up? Because the World's winner, Guanrong, does run Pilaf in his Sakazuki deck. Yeah, as you can see here, the price of the card did go up after his win. It went from 159 to 176, so like 15 cents increase. And this is the highest that Pilaf has ever been. Lowest that I have recorded is 60 cents, 68 cents, 70 cents. So this is more than double its lowest point. This is funny to see. If you win Worlds with the card, it'll go up in price. Likewise, Kaido, I think Alvoye did run Kaido in his deck and he's the one who lost to the first place player, Guanrong. So let's see if this decreased in price. Yeah, it did indeed. $5.06 to $4.67, so like a 40-cent decrease, thanks to the Kaido tech losing to the Sanji's Pilaf tech. Yeah, that's very amusing to see reflected in the data. Somebody ran this promo Luffy in their Sakazuki deck that placed. One deck, right? Yeah, one guy ran it. I don't even know what he does actually, but yeah, you can see this card. He did it in top 8, so it was a 9th to 16th place Sakazuki deck. It was 16th place, average place of a single entry is that number itself. So would be interested to look at the stage card too. Maybe this went up as a replacement for Great Eruption. Oh, it looks like it might be. Yeah, since the 3rd, 96 cents, now it's at $1. So was a 6 cents increase. This could mean that people are trying out this card as a replacement for Great Eruption, since it does give minus cost every turn for free. And then on the turn you do play it, it is -2 cost. It's -1 cost for playing it for 1 Dawn, and then another additional -1 cost when you tap it. But yeah, that is the Sakazuki deck cards performance, individual card performance. That's kind of all I had planned for this video. I was just curious to see how Sakazuki was doing after the ban list. So key takeaways from this Sakazuki focus market review. It's the cheapest it'll ever be to play Sakazuki in 06. A lot of his cards are on the discount right now. So if you wanted to play a top meta deck for one more set before he eventually gets banned, now is the cheapest to get that set up for yourself. And honestly, if the Alt-Art Sakazuki leader does get cheap enough, I do think it would be a good idea to pick a few up in case he does ever get unbanned in the future. Due to the nature of how they banned the card, it does open up the path for it to be back into viability in a later set. So that's something that maybe you should take into account. But other than that, there weren't too many crazy moves in this market review period. The overall price of the game does look like it's going down slightly, steadily, but 06 is coming out in a week, so we'll be interested to see how that affects the market. And then 06 cards will start populating this dashboard, so expect to see that soon. And if you liked what you saw in this dashboard, I do grant access to it if you're a market tier patron on my Patreon, so link in the description and on screen. And yeah, thanks for watching. Okay, bye.
Card D Kaizoku.